Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Mirror Dungeon solo video. Today we'll be using the awe-inspiring Contempt Ryoshu. She serves as a hybrid bleed and tremor identity and supports both of them well enough as she can, at the very least, maintain both stacks on an enemy. However, they are far from her main focus. What she really cares about is her own unique status effect of Gaze, which can stack up to 7 and allows both her and the enemy it's on to do an extra 10% damage per stack to each other. Ryoshu's main goal is to ensure that she applies 7 Gaze as quickly as possible, as once she has, she gains the ability to use her enhanced skill 3, which, despite being a single coin skill, does substantially more damage with all of its modifiers. She's ultimately just a particularly strong DPS unit with just a little bit of tremor and bleed sprinkled in, but because her primary focus is on her Gaze, she can pretty much be slotted in on any team and still do a decent job. With that said though, she does also come with a unique tremor type of her own, that being Tremor Hemorrhage. It's pretty much the same as Tremor Scorch and Reverb, with it doing damage whenever a tremor burst occurs, however its damage scales off of how much bleed is on the enemy. Personally, I find Hemorrhage to be the worst of the 3 of them, specifically because whenever a tremor burst occurs, it also reduces the bleed count on the enemy by 1. With how quickly bleed count already decays, hastening that process is not a particularly good thing. If you can manage to build a bleed stack really high though, it can still be decent, so it's not completely terrible, but it certainly is something that you need to be wary of when using her. And that's how she plays when used by herself. However, perhaps the most interesting part about her, and debatably the strongest aspect of her entire kit, is how she plays when paired with Felbull Yisong. Simply by using the two of them together, Yisong goes from being an underwhelming identity who struggles to do anything at all, into one of the strongest identities in the game. How does this happen? Because Ryoshu gives Yisong the one thing he lacks: consistency. Unless you were purposefully fielding level 1 identities, Yisong did not have enough damage to consistently kill his own allies, without them already having taken half their health and damage beforehand. If he doesn't kill an ally with his skill 3, it's very underwhelming. But when paired with Ryoshu, she removes the requirement for him to kill anyone in order for his skill 3 to do its maximum damage. Of course, in order for it to do so, it does require a bit more setup, but it's almost always going to be worth it. The only true requirement is that in order for it to happen, Ryoshu needs to have the Contempt of the Gaze status effect. There are about 3 different ways she can gain it. The first is when she gets staggered, however this is by far the least useful of them all, as if you don't have some way to cancel the stagger, Yisong's skill will fail because Ryoshu also needs to be able to act for it to work. The second is by using her Contempt Awe Ego, either with 6 resonance or by corroding it. And the third and perhaps easiest way to do it is by using her defense skill after you have applied at least 7 Gaze onto any enemy. Once Ryoshu has the Contempt of the Gaze status effect, Yisong can use his skill 3, which will then target her, and as long as it crits and doesn't kill Ryoshu, it will do its full damage and take full advantage of all of its attack weight. As powerful as Ryoshu is on her own, her ability to enable Yisong is by far the most valuable aspect of her entire kit. Anyway, to start the run off, we take these starter buffs and find these ego gifts on the first floor of Dregs of the Manor before making it to the boss against Hindley and the Rabbits. So Contempt Ryoshu. She's a pretty cool identity. I'd say on her own, she's definitely quite interesting. Not necessarily all that powerful, but she's definitely good enough. I mean, one of the biggest reasons to actually use her is to get the whole combo attack with all of the combo attacks with Felbull Yisong. But even without him on the team, she's still decent. Like that's definitely one of her biggest major draws, is the fact that she enables Felbull Yisong to basically be able to use his skill 3 without any downside whatsoever. Like, that's one of my biggest problems with him as an identity, is that to use his skill 3 at its maximum potential, it's actually quite inconsistent. And a lot of that inconsistency just comes down to the fact that unless you're taking a lot of damage and get like relatively unlucky, it's just he's almost never going to get like take advantage of all of the attack weight from his skill 3, but if you use him with Ryoshu, most of that is no longer an issue. Because her whole thing is basically it gets all of the value from his skill 3, it gets all of the extra attack weight without the requirement of having to kill anybody. In fact, it fails to do its most damage if Ryoshu dies. So unironically, like Ryoshu's greatest value is the fact that she makes Yisong an actual consistent identity. We head into Hell's Chicken for the next floor, where we find the grimy iron stake, manor-shaped music box, tangled bundle, ornamental horseshoe, gray coat, contaminated needle and thread, emerald elytra, cigarette holder, imposed weight, phlebotomy pack, punctured memory, and the rusty commemorative coin before making it to the boss against Papa Bongi. So, one thing about this identity is I actually think she's bugged, or at least part of her description is like translated incorrectly or something, because her passive doesn't exactly work the way it says it does. Because effectively, when you have 2 lust resin, right, it makes it so that it says that she inflicts an extra 2 gaze once per enemy per turn. But I found that it doesn't actually do that. It's not once per enemy per turn. It seems to be actually once per skill. So it makes it so that she actually inflicts a lot more gaze than it seems that she does, at least when she has multiple skill slots. Because if she only has 1 skill slot, then it does work like it says it does. But once you get multiple skill slots, she inflicts way more gaze. Like, you use 2 skill 3s and you immediately inflict 7 gaze on a single enemy in a single turn, when it should be only, well, it would still be 7, but you know what I mean. It does it earlier because it should inflict the 7 on the final coin of the second skill 3, but it actually does it on the first. We head into Hatred and Despair for the next floor, where we find Tango Marinade, Night Vision Goggles, the Knight's Blessing, Nebulizer, an extra skill 3, and the Dueling Manual Book 3 before making it to the boss against the Knight of Despair. Honestly, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this identity. Like, yeah, she's very cool, but also quite simple. I guess that she isn't really that simple if I'm being completely honest. Like she's got a lot of, she is very simple, but she's also got a lot of like minor intricate things going on in her kit. It's also difficult to show how her passive is bugged when like, you know, she can't inflict more than 7 gaze and it automatically happened. Like you use one of her skills on the first turn and that's interesting. Wait a minute. Yeah, you see like right there. She hit 7 gaze on the Night of Despair. She hit 7 gaze on the Night of Despair on the first coin of her skill 3. When her skill 3 only applies gaze on the final coin. Meaning that her passive gave 2 gaze twice on the same enemy on the same turn when it should only happen once. So there's definitely some kind of either she's bugged or the description is just straight up wrong. Honestly though, she is pretty powerful. Like being able to do this much damage to the Night of Despair already. Usually she's not at half health this quickly, you know? The testament to how strong she truly is. Like, we're not even gonna have the queen do the finishing blow at this rate. Can't have that. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to give the queen the finishing blow. Like, the knight bleeds out here. Rip. I'm sorry, Queenie. I failed you. We head into Refraction Railway Line 2 for the next floor, where we find the Fluorescent Lamp, Clear Mirror Calm Water, and Finifugality, before making it to the boss against the Sign of Roses. Alright, Sign of Roses obviously is not a difficult fight. Unless that thing shows up. Even still, it doesn't matter. We have a revive, so who cares? I am intending to go really deep, you know, try extreme mode again. As much as I have an issue with it, I still want to do it. And you know, the bridal ego gift that gives you an extra 50% health, it's not that necessary. But even still, 50% extra health is really, really good. Especially when everyone is doing so much damage. It just It gives you a lot more buffer room and makes it substantially more likely that you can save your revives for later. And that's basically why we picked this floor. No other reason. We head into the Infinite Procession for the next floor, where we find Bridal, Ruptured Blood Sac, Barbed Lasso, another Skill 3, Nixie Divergence, Coffee and Cranes, UPS System, Lunar Memory, and the Fragment of Hellfire, before making it to the boss against the Bloodfiend Trio. Alright, we're halfway there. And by halfway there, I mean probably closer to like 1/6. Unfortunately, this fight's not that difficult, especially this early. And with how powerful we are. But that's the sacrifice that needs to be made if you're going extreme mode. The early floors become pretty easy. Honestly, I love her sound effects. They're so satisfying. That's definitely something that is honestly a little underexplored with most identities, in my opinion. The sound design. A lot of them are kind of just sort of whatever, but especially with this one with her skill 3, it's so good. We head into the Evil Defining for the next floor, where we find the La Mancha Land All-Day Pass, Charred Disc, Wrist Guards, Fiery Down, Broken Revolver, Lithograph, Sun Shower, Melted Eyeball, Green Spirit, Smokes and Wires, Artistic Sense, Downpour, Unmailed Letter, and the Charge Type Gloves, before making it to the boss against Ahab. Alright, well, this is one of the freest fights in the entire game, so... Yippee! We're already overpowered. Like, Ahab doesn't stand a chance. Look at this. She's such a joke. She really is. Even if we aren't overpowered, it's like... Ahab still can't do anything because, honestly, of how low our stagger bar is. Her first phase just isn't threatening at all. And then she doesn't gain enough health right here, so yeah, she just gets staggered instantly and dies. Very fun and interactive fight right here, guys. Look at that. One singular clash, that's all you get. I can't wait until Ahab comes back in the future and then we get a new fight with her where she's actually a threat. Because Ahab is a very cool character. I definitely like her a lot, but her fights, man, they're just... Gas Harpoon just leaves a lot to be desired. We head into Tangling Lust for the next floor, where we find Dust to Dust, Four-Leaf Clover, the Red Stain Gossypium, Torn Bandolier, Reverberation, Sticky Muck, Arrested Hymn, Pendant of Nostalgia, Sundered Memory, and the Guiding Gas Lamp before making it to the boss against the Barber. Ah, very cool, the Barber. She is definitely the hardest fight on this floor. Not that it particularly matters. The only reason we picked this floor is honestly because Piece of a Relationship is one of the rewards. And that is a very, very important eco gift if you're going very late. The Barber on her own is definitely very, very scary though. Like, she inflicts a lot, and I mean a lot of bleed. And on top of that, she just does a lot of damage too. So it's like, if you don't have like a lot of health or enough damage to just straight up stagger her, then yeah, you're kind of in a bad spot. I mean, for us, because we're going so late, we have a revive, and because of that, it's like she's a lot less threatening. But if it wasn't for that, she'd definitely be challenging, at least somewhat. But anyway, one thing I kind of wish that Project Moon would add to the Mirror Dungeon is a search function for keywordless ego gifts, because especially if you're going late, things like Piece of a Relationship and Faith, they are some of the most important ego gifts, and currently you just have to get lucky. There's no way to actively search for them, you know? So that's definitely something I'd like to see added. We head into Refraction Railway, Line 1 for the next floor, where we find Piece of a Relationship, Illusory Hunt, Torn Hems, Melted Spring, Skeletal Crumbs, Broken Compass, Malarka, Midwinter Nightmare, and the Bill of Truth before making it to the boss. Alright, pretty easy fight time. Line 1 is also one that's kind of required to go late because it has it comes with both the Snake Slough ego gift, which makes your offense level a little bit better, and then it also has the False Halo, which gives you like 100% bonus damage, which is ridiculously good. Crazy that rolled a 73. That's wild. It's a powerful attack. This is crazy how strong we are. Like, I did a previous run with this same identity like a little bit ago, and it was not this dominating, I'll say that much. I don't even know what's different this time, to be honest.
개체로부터 기이한 태세가 보이는군요.
There's really nothing that's
아마
that
예상
different.
가능하고도 뻔한 수십 가지의 범위 중 하나겠지만
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없.
But she's easily clearing like 50 rolls. And we're not even at max power yet. Like, we're very far off from max power.
기가 튀게.
보너스 스코어야.
It is still this dominating of a performance.
출구에서 상품을 받아가셔야 합니다.
나라도 그랬을 거야.
그 시선 경멸스럽고. 진빛 경.
제가 개체에게 큰
기가
피해를 준 것 같아. 기후팀의 직원다운 완벽한 공격이었어.
경외감 속에
방금
숨어.
어떻게 하신 거죠? 깜짝 놀랐어요.
경.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
아까의 공격으로 인해서 대상에게 많은 피해를 입혔어.
Like her base roll without any coin power is
나선
42.
속을 벗어날 순 없.
That's ridiculous.
기가 튀게.
How did I accidentally make her this powerful? I have no idea.
다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐 줄래? 영상으로 남기면
벗어날 수
다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도 몰라. 자, 악당 퇴치
I might have
성공!
stumbled across something.
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We head into Mountain of Corpses, Sea of Blood for the next floor, where we find False Halo, Sour Liquor Aroma, Phantom Pain, Biovenom Vial, and the Clockwork Spring, before making it to the boss against Cassetti.
적들이 뭔가 기분이 좋아 보이는 것
Cassetti.
같아. 칼은 기분 나.
Cassetti's a pretty easy fight. I was kind of hoping we would have gotten the Spiral of Contempt for obvious reasons, but unlucky, I suppose.
밝고 생기롭고
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 그 시선 경멸스.
방금 멋졌어. 너희들의 사랑의 힘이 빛의 힘이
One of the
저 어둡고
the worst parts about this identity is that if she's too powerful, like she's killing everything because
한결 수월해진 것 같아요.
all of her
좋네요.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
gaze application is on the final coin of all of her skills. If she's killing everything, she doesn't actually apply any gaze, and therefore she'll never be able to use her empowered skill 3 if you don't activate her passive.
완벽한 공격이었어.
Suffering from success, I suppose, but
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐 줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도
벗어날 수
몰라.
있다고 생각해.
방금 어떻게 하신 거죠? 깜짝 놀랐어요.
perhaps it's a good thing that she doesn't inflict too much.
그에게 일격을 가하는데 성공했습니다. 이 전투가
나선
성공적으로
속을 벗어날
끝나면
순 없.
모두의 희생을 기리는 축배를 드는 것도 나쁘지 않겠죠.
경멸스럽고. 경외감 속에 숨어. 진빛 경.
그래 딱 반쯤 죽여버려 13조 이항에 맞추게
기가
그게 체격이지
Oh, that didn't. Oh, she missed the coin and it didn't kill.
개체가
All right, Cassetti. How you doing?
하지만 우리가 걱정할 건 하나도 없어.
You're ready to get absolutely blown up because you don't have enough health? I mean, you have a fine amount of health.
경외감 속에 숨어.
You're not ridiculously bloated like extreme mode. So, I thank you for that much at least.
기가 튀.
I can't wait until Cassetti's rerun event where they give him Blood Feast.
완벽한 한 방.
They better give him Blood Feast. If they don't, I'm gonna be disappointed.
승객이
경외감
한 방
속에
먹었어.
숨어.
깨달음을 얻으셨군.
나선 속을 벗어날 순
모자를
없다.
쓰고 있는 향기에겐 방망이 대신 풍선 칼이 정답이에요.
현명한 판단이요.
악당 퇴치 성공! 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We head into Refraction Railway Line 3 for the next floor, where we find the Fragment of Allurement and the Contempt of the Gaze of Contempt before making it to the boss.
적들이
Alright,
좋아 보이는 것
here we are.
칼은
누가
기분 나빠.
누구에게
The
말을
final
거는
floor. Or at least it would be the final floor, if not for a couple of other things. Do these guys even have... I mean, they will eventually have lust, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
벗어날 순 없다.
Anyway, we are now ridiculously overpowered because I just upgraded literally everything.
모든 시선이 이끌리지.
개체들의 체력이 많이 깎여 나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아?
So how overpowered are we exactly? Well,
누가 누구에게 말을 거는
level 85, 400 health, 122 offense level, extra 37 offense level. That's crazy. These guys' offense level is 92. So yeah, like look at this. The skill 1 is rolling a 41.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
방금 멋졌어.
Needless to say, yeah,
벗어날 수 있다.
적에게 치명상
anything less than extreme mode is not a challenge anymore.
생각하는 것보다
승리도
대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 피가 튀고
Extreme mode is going to be threatening. I mean, that's the whole reason why we're even this overpowered to begin with. Because we need it for extreme mode.
대성공이야. 칼은 신나. 노래 부를까?
And we are pretty much at max power at this point.
중지는 늘 기억하지.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 진득형.
제압 개체에게 큰 피해를 준것 같아.
I mean, there's very little ego gifts that we can collect that will continue to buff us. I mean, the biggest one right now is Faith,
어떻게 하신 거죠?
I think.
깜짝 놀랐어요.
Also, that was a we were doing 70% less damage there because we had
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
the one status effect, the Contempt of the Gaze or whatever. I don't know. She has 2 different status effects that are like nearly identical, but just backwards from one another is what they're called.
참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
I think it's Contempt of the Gaze. Gaze of Contempt is the one that does extra damage, and Contempt of the Gaze is the one that reduces the damage taken.
피가 튀고
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시
벗어날 수
해봐줄래?
있다고 생각해.
영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도 몰라.
진득형.
깨달음을 얻으셨군.
모자를 쓰고 있는 향기에겐 방망이 대신 풍선 칼이 정답이에요.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
But yeah, anyways, pretty much the only thing that can really make us stronger at this point is things like Faith.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각해.
So we're kind of at max power right now,
피가 튀고
which is definitely a little scary because every enemy is going to just continuously get stronger and stronger as we go deeper into extreme mode. So we'll definitely start falling behind at some point.
기념할 만한 걸.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
But judging by how strong these enemies are currently, I think it will take a while. At least floor 14 is where it will... I'd say around floor 14 is where we'll start struggling.
현명한 판단이요.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각해.
And hopefully by that point we'll have Faith so we can ego spam.
벗어날 수 있다고
세게 맞은 건 아닙니까?
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
스트레스가 저만큼 날아가듯이 안 좋아요.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나? 피가 튀기.
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
피가 튀기.
저건 물병 아니야? 어린이 친구? 물병은
기가
어떻게
튀-
내 반응이 크는지.
경외감 속에 숨어. 진비경.
상담에서 알려준 대로 잘했어. 악당 퇴치 성공. 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We head into Who Couldn't Be Bloodfiends for the next floor, where we take these adversities and find unhatched embers, another skill 3, and late bloomer's tattoo before making it to the boss.
적들이 뭔가 기분이 좋아 보이는 것 같아.
Alright, Bloodfiends.
사람 기분 나빠.
Can we stagger though? That's the question. Probably. Yeah, there's a good
나선
chance.
속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Nice.
개체들의 체력이 많이 깎여 나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아? 이 기세로 계속 나아가 보자.
Bloodfiends, not that scary.
마법 소녀들은 항상
나선 속을
운영단의
벗어날 순
스타일이거든.
없다.
너희만
피가
Definitely could be a
우리를 도와줘.
worse fight here, but
그건
Bloodfiends aren't that bad.
필요하니까. 내가 그럴 순 없겠네. 스트레스가 좀
Looks like we're probably gonna have to use the revive right now, though. Depending on how much damage they do. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Probably now.
나선 속을
Or
벗어날
maybe their healing is good enough. It probably is. It'd be nice if we don't need to use the revive. The longer we can hold it off for, the better it will be.
당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한
경외감
능력을
속에
가지고 있어.
숨어.
제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만
What a
한답니다.
satisfying attack that is.
노래 부를까?
피가 튀기.
적확한 한압이었어.
Yeah, just one of those plus one of those enhanced skill 3s plus gray coat
공격으로 인해서 대상에게 많은 피해를 입혔어.
instantly
적들이 충분히
나선 속을
나약해졌다는
벗어날
것을
수
instantly makes it so we're
그 시선.
방금
back to full health.
너희들의 사랑의 힘이 빛의 힘이 저
No revives used
다른
yet.
나라들을 뒤흔들었어.
Very good.
이대로면 승리도 시간 문제겠지.
We're killing with only 2 coins as well.
한방 먹였어.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나? 진비경.
훌륭하고 이외에 특별히 첨언할 이유도 없군.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
This is such a dominating performance. Like, seriously.
정말 잘했어. 어? 악당들을
나선 속을
죽여야지만
벗어날 순
정의가
없-
존재할 수 있는 법인데 불쌍하게 죽일 필요는 없지 않아?
I really don't know what the difference is because I did do another run with this exact same character like before this one, and it was nowhere near as powerful as this one. I don't know where all this strength is coming from. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this does not feel like extreme mode.
모자를 쓰고 있는 사람에게 방망이 대신 풍선칼이 정답이에요. 방금 공격
피가
다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도 몰라.
완벽한 한방.
경외감 속에
시원한
숨어.
걸.
진비경.
그래, 딱 반쯤
피가
죽여버려.
튀기.
13조 이항의 만큼 그게 체격이지.
God, the sound effects though, they're so good.
나선 속을 벗어날 순
This identity's sound design is like absolutely perfect.
기가 튀기.
Project Moon really nailed it with this identity.
기가 튀기.
Easily one of my favorites.
방금 공격은 좋았어. 이대로만 계속해보면 좋을 텐데.
경외감 속에 숨어.
효율적인
We didn't-
대처로
We didn't even hit max karma there, or whatever the dolly or whatever that status effect is called.
내일도
Didn't even hit max of it. We head into line 3 terminus for the next floor, where we take these adversities and find gathering skulls before making it to the boss.
저희도 가서 도와줄까요, 돌신의 언니?
We still don't have faith, which is definitely a bit rough, but
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
we can deal with it. Have to use that ego there to hopefully avoid getting staggered. Or not staggered, but triggering the revive. We do actually want to hold on to the revive as long as possible. Because I will admit, I am a little bit scared of some of the enemies in this floor. Specifically the Ardor Blossom Moth. That thing is kinda scary because of all the burn damage it has. Normally for the Ardor Blossom Moth, like, this thing isn't that bad. Like, as you can clearly see, it's very, very incredibly easy to deal with the Ambling Pearl. It's not a hard fight. But the Ardor Blossom Moth can potentially be difficult with all of its burn damage.
경외감 속에 숨어.
경명은 판단.
부위 하나가 파괴되었어. 이대로 똑같이만 한다면 모든 부위를 파괴시킬 수 있겠지?
이따위 일도 못.
제약 개체의 상태가 나빠졌어요.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없.
One of the big things about the Ardor Blossom Moth is it's not really possible to beat in a normal run
이외에 특별히 첨언할
if you don't have an evade. And a lot of that has to do with its burn infliction. Like, it inflicts a lot of burn, and normally, like, it can be a little tricky to get through, but as long as you have the ability to clash against it relatively decently, then the burn damage isn't much of an issue. Because if you can clash against all of its skills, then it's effectively like you have an evade and you're dodging everything, which is why this floor is a lot better, since the Ardor Blossom is the second boss. If it was the first boss, it would be a bit worse off, but the second is good, because you can avoid a lot of the burn damage.
방금 어떻게 하신 거죠? 깜짝 놀랐어요. 방금 공격은 좋았어. 이대로만 계속해보면 좋을 텐데.
Impossible to
그렇게 싫어하진 않아. 쟤네 정신을
beat that skill check, but it doesn't matter because we don't have any burn. The skill 2s roll so high. It's crazy.
경외감 속에 숨어.
대성공이야. 가론 신나. 노래 부를까?
Whose contemptuous gaze is stronger than the others?
경외감 속에 숨어.
적합한 관리법이었어요. 다행이에요.
The Spiral of Contempt is a very similar situation to the Ardor Blossomoth, where he's very threatening with the amount of bleed damage he can inflict, but it's, again, since he's the final fight, it's very easily manageable.
완벽한 한방. 시원한 걸.
좋아.
경외감
이번에는
속에
제대로
숨어.
들어가.
Also, Lunar Memory just completely turns off his gimmick entirely, so that's nice.
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We head into Refraction Railway, line 5 for the next floor, where we take these adversities and find Coveting Thorn and Eclipse of Scarlet Moths before making it to the boss against Section 1.
늦으면
Cool, line 1.
먼저 갈 거야.
Not that bad.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Alright, well, we've hit the point where we can't consistently outroll,
예술의 황홀 경.
at least without the clear mirror crits.
완벽한 한방.
Which sucks
시원한 걸.
because
이
we still don't have faith.
예술의 황홀 경치.
So ego spam just destroys our sanity.
모자를 쓰고 있는 혈기에겐 방망이 대신 풍선 칼이 정답이에요.
Surprisingly, that didn't stagger us, though.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 피가 튀고
Fortunately, it's not so bad. It's basically literally just turn 1, and everything after turn 1 is perfectly fine.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
We definitely get staggered here, though. Nothing I can do about it. But it's fine. Only one stagger bar, so...
나선 속을
We can
벗어날 순
save
없다.
the revive and heal back to full thanks to Greycoat.
진비경
칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠?
피가 튀고
방금 공격은 좋았어.
피가 튀고
이대로만 계속해보면 좋을 텐데. 승객이 딱 한 방
경외감 속에
먹였어.
숨어.
This is also 70% damage reduction, by the way, because we got staggered. So that's cool.
나선 속을 벗어날 순
It's
없다.
kind of funny that our skill 1s are capable of outrolling stuff still. Like, turn 1's the hardest turn, because we have so much stuff that just continues to give us more offense level and everything.
경외감 속에 숨어. 진비경
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐줄래?
Like, that was a pretty good
영상으로 남기면
one.
직원에게도 도움이 될
Like, look at this.
텐데.
Our skill 2 is rolling a 50. Our skill 1s can win clashes. It's ridiculous. How is our skill 1 capable of winning clashes at this point? That doesn't seem right to me.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 경외감 속에 숨어.
That was a raw 65 clash power. What's the achievement? Is it for 80 clash power, I think?
적확한 한압이었어.
피가 튀고
Imagine if she was in an actual team and so the fusion ego gifts would work. She could easily get the 80.
완전 좋았어.
진비경
너희도 이번 역경을 헤쳐나가기만 하면
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
대성공이야. 칼은 신나. 노래 부를까?
Honestly, I'm trying to think about like what's really the main difference between this identity, this run, and the previous run I did with the Queen of Hatred. Because this one doesn't feel as awful as that one did. And it's like, I don't think Project Moon nerfed anything about the enemy buffs. I mean, the Rose Hunter still has like 40,000 HP here. Maybe it's just the damage type she is, because yeah, it probably is. It's probably the fact that she's bleed and tremor. And bleed and tremor get a lot of extra debuffs than charge and rupture. And as a result, she ends up being a lot more dominating in these late mirror dungeons, because yeah, that's the best I can come up with. It's literally just tremor and bleed are better for late mirror dungeon, right?
개체의 유효한 속성을 정확하게 간파했습니다. 제 예상만큼 관리자님의 능력이 우수하다는 것이 증명된 것 같아 다행이군요.
현명한 판단이요.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
방금의 공격 혹신 그 자체였다.
경외감 속에 숨어 기가 튀기
역시 이런 힘든 어트랙션보단 내 퍼레이드가 더 재밌지 않아?
나선 속을 벗어날 수 있다고
좋아!
생각해.
이 하나를 박살냈어!
나선 속을 벗어날 수
Don't have anything to say. It's very easy.
기가 튀기
I still don't like the time investment required, because this still did take like 3 hours and like so much setup. So I still stand by the statement that this is not something I'm going to do very often. But whenever I feel like an identity kind of deserves to go this late, then I will do it. And Contempt Ryoshu, I definitely think she's one of those identities that deserves to go this late.
중주의 안가품이 그저 무력 행사뿐이라고 생각.
나선 속을 벗어날 수 없다.
원한을 풀 수 있다면 수단을 가릴 이유는
기가 튀기 경외감 속에 숨어
핵심적인 스트레드에 있던 아르카나를 부쉈어. 이제 서서히 힘을 잃어갈 거야. 좋았어.
기가 튀기
자, 악당 퇴치 성공. 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We head into Bridal of Infinity for the next floor, where we take these adversities before making it to the boss.
72조 사망 비행 사연.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
So yeah, I still can't get Faith. I've literally been fusing nothing but like random tier 4 ego gifts, and I've gotten like 6 of the 7 ego fragments. Still no Faith.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 피가 튀고
칼날이 잘 드네요.
Like even more than that, like I've gotten like genuinely
나선 속을
genuinely
벗어날 순 없다.
every single tier 4 ego gift in the game. I'm only missing like 3 of them at this point, and one of those are Faith. It's honestly ridiculous how much the game is just not giving it to me. I mean, not that we particularly need it, as you can clearly see.
기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
But having it would be nice for the ego spam potential.
관리자님이 들을진 몰라도 그때를 위해서 미리 응원을 녹음해야 한다는 거군요. 아 이런
나선 속을
이것도
벗어날
녹음되고
순 없다.
있는지는 미처 몰랐네요.
I've also gotten relatively unlucky with getting absolutely 0 of the secret bosses. I wish I knew like how to get them, to be honest, because I do want to fight a secret boss. I haven't got a single one. I hope they're not too rare.
피가 튀고
팔에 스티커를 먹혔으니 보너스 스티커.
Honestly, that's one thing I don't really like about.
출구에서 상품을 받아가셔야 합니다.
That's one of the things that made like old Mirror Dungeon kind
나선
of
속을 벗어날 순 없다.
not that good is random bosses, right? Like one of the things that makes the new Mirror Dungeon so much better than the old one is the fact that you can choose specifically what bosses you want to fight. And that means that you can
방금의 공격
either choose bosses you find actually fun, or alternatively choose bosses that are easier so you can have an easier time actually beating the Mirror Dungeon.
그들의 체력이 많이 깎여 나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아? 이 기세로 계속 나아가 보자.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
But at the same time, then Project Moon goes ahead and adds, you know, secret bosses, and they're cool. It's cool that secret bosses exist, but I'd much prefer to actually pick a floor where I'm guaranteed to fight them, you know what I mean?
공격이었어. 기념할 만한 걸.
피가 튀고
Or alternatively, make it so that when they do appear on a floor, don't hide the node.
시작이랬어.
Because I have gotten one boss in a previous attempt,
피가
시원한 걸.
and yeah, it was actually hidden. Like I couldn't see it. And that seems kind of a bit redundant because there was also a skip button with it. So it's like if you can skip the boss, right?
나 어디 갔지? 저도 데리고 도망가세요. 당신해야지.
나선 속을 벗어날
Then
순
what's the
없다.
point of hiding it? You know what I mean?
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나?
You might as well show it in on the path so that when you do get one, you can pick it when you want to, right? Because in these floors, there's 2 different paths you can take, and you know, if you're like me and you want to do a secret boss, but you choose the wrong path, then you're just out of luck.
그와는 차이가 있지만
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
So it's like I probably did miss the secret bosses, you know? And it's definitely a little disappointing.
피가 튀고
Because this run could have been a lot more interesting, but Here we are. No secret bosses.
기가 튀게.
모자를 쓰고 있는 사람에게 방망이 대신 풍선.
I hope I get at least one. Anyway, this fight is very easy. That's one of the reasons why I took it.
같이 해봐줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도 몰라.
It's almost a guaranteed victory.
경외감 속에 숨어. 경.
운명의 기운이 공명하는 것 같아. 그 공격을 선택한 건 좋았던 것 같네.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
부위 하나가 파괴되었어.
기가
이대로 똑같이만 한다면 모든 부위를 파괴시킬 수 있겠지? 오,
경외감
머리 좋다
속에
단테. 방금 완전 좋았어.
경. 기가 튀게.
방금 했던 공격은 매우
기가
효과적이었어. 하지만 아직 부족해. 다음 공격은 더 잘할 수 있도록. 방금 멋졌어. 너희들의 사랑의 힘이, 빛의 힘이 저 어둡고 악한 아르카나들을 뒤흔들었어. 이대로면 승리도 시간 문제겠지?
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 기가 튀게.
Well, this first turn is the only actual threatening turn because they can outroll us temporarily.
적합한
At least until all the tremor stuff
다행이에요.
kicks in and nukes their offense level.
기가 튀게. 경외감 속에 숨어. 경.
개체의 유효한 속성을 정확하게 간파했습니다. 제 예상만큼 관리자님의 능력이 우수하다는 것이 증명되는 것 같아 적에게 치명상을 입혔군요.
기가 튀게.
관리자님은 당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠.
상담에서 알려준 대로
저는
잘했어.
언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
상담 프로그램을 진행한 건
그래.
경외감
딱
속에
반쯤
숨어.
죽여버려. 13조 2항에 맞추려면 그게 체격이죠.
너무 세게 맞은 건 아닙니까?
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Well, pretty easy fight, all things considered.
대성
Extreme mode really isn't that bad. It's just the time investment, man. Genuinely, 3 hours to beat the entire thing. That's way too much.
경외감 속에 숨어.
I'm not gonna complain about it anymore though. Like, it is what it is. Let's just all be in awe at the power that Ryoshu is. And her contemptuous glare.
경외감 속에 숨어. 경.
자, 악당 퇴치 성공. 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We get into the new League of Nine for the next floor, where we take these adversities before running into the secret boss of Ricardo.
레이저 마이너라고 해도
Alright, Ricardo. I'm scared of this fight. Very, very scary enemies. They can't be staggered. They hit hard. We don't have faith, so we can't regenerate sanity.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
And on turn 3, they use counter skills.
예술의 황홀 경지.
Scary fight. Very, very scary.
깨달음을 얻으셨군.
모자를 쓰고
이
있는 사람에게
불도와
방망이 대신
예술의 황홀 경지.
This is the elite fight I got before. It killed the run.
완벽한 한 방.
I don't know why I picked it again. I know how bad it is. Please don't kill. Thank you. Still the revive.
이제
That's good.
타이밍까지 시간이 얼마 남지 않았습니다. 모두 좀 더 힘내볼까요?
나선 속을 벗어날
If we
순
can
없다.
kill them before anything else happens,
모든 것을 태우는 것.
this will be good.
방금 공격은 좋았어. 이대로만 계속해보면 좋을
Obviously, we corrode.
해냈구나. 나라도 그랬을 거야.
효율적인 대처로
But corrosion is fine as long as we don't
참고로,
die
기계는
here.
말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
We want to keep. Yeah, we want to keep the not the counter, the
줄줄 흐르는데?
we want to keep the revive alive for their counter skills. Honestly, corroding probably wasn't necessary.
이외에 특별히 첨언할 이유도 없군.
We just needed to keep the revive alive.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려. 13조 2항에 맞추면 그게 체격이지.
너무 세게 맞은 건 아닙니까?
시원해. 그러다 죽어버리면 나를
All right, there he is, Mr. Ricardo Man.
나를 나쁜 새끼라도 만들려는 거야.
Punching and kicking. Oh no. Okay, we have to. We take damage here no matter what, is the thing. Probably doing it like this is the best. I hope.
속을 벗어날 순 없다.
We lose.
피곤하면 어트랙션을 계속하지 않아도 돼. 운명의 기운이 나를 증명하는 역할이야.
God damn it.
하나를 처리하지 못한 나는
Alright, we made it back. This time we have both of our revives, which is good. Unfortunately, we kind of did a little too much damage. And so we're still in a pretty rough spot. The problem is we can't outroll Ricardo. And our sanity is so low that it's practically not guaranteed at all. Ever. So what do? Well, the answer will shock you. It's called let him do what he wants and just pray to RNGesus that we can win a clash.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
The answer is no, we cannot win a clash.
속에 숨어.
But we have a revive online, which means that it's pretty likely that we'll be able to win a clash later. But first we're going to corrode. Ricardo's gonna make us corrode. I think.
적에게 치명상을 입혔군요.
Because there's one skill.
당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을 가지고 제가 늘
Oh, he didn't. Interesting.
저는 언제나
I thought for sure he was going to make us corrode there because he had a skill that reduces our sanity, but
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 경외감 속에
good thing we have 2 revives.
나의 것들은 괜찮은가?
Oh, I love paralysis. Oh my god, this fight is awful. If only I had faith. Bro. Do we just force corrosion again? It's probably the best, right? Force corrosion, fully focused down on Ricardo. Hope for the best.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Kind of have to do this because I wasn't able, the previous turn ended before I could do any damage, so we're lacking the entirety of the clear mirror calm water effects, like all of the on-hit offense level. And so we just can't win clashes.
경외감 속에 숨어.
다음에 다른 개체 얘기도 다시 해봐줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지도 몰라. 어린이 친구? 일단은 어트랙션 아니 금지.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말다리 쉽게 하지
So this is probably the best option. I mean, we're going to trigger the revive,
나의 벗들이 괜찮은가?
which allows us to tank literally everything for a single turn.
시선은 눈이 멀지 않고
There we go. I hope these unbreakable coins don't kill me. I mean, they can't, right?
완벽한 한방.
Like, we still have one more revive. So even if it does enough damage, it doesn't really.
모든 것을 태우는 것.
해냈구나. 나라도 그랬을 거야.
모든 것을 태우는 것.
무얼 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가 시작이랬어.
모든 것을 태우는 것.
운명의 기운이 공명하는 것 같아. 그 공격을 선택한 건
모든
좋았던 것
것을
같네.
태우는 것.
방금의 혹신 그 자체였다.
Complete and total extermination. Scary attack. We win though, so it does minus 80% final damage. We still have another revive, it's fine. Wait, counters. Hold on. Hold on. How much health is he? We need to do 10,000 damage? I don't know about that. This is scary. This is a scary turn.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
It's 3,000.
상담에서 알려준 대로 잘했어.
천원
역시
차량이다.
That's at 100. We do have one revive, which is pretty much the only thing we have going for us.
기가 튀고.
방금 했던 공격은 매우 효과적이었어.
Thank goodness we have that revive.
건 엄청 고통스러웠겠다.
경외감
그
속에
고통과
숨.
미움을 똑같이 적에게 돌려서 볼까?
Whew. That was a scary fight. Very, very scary fight.
오, 머리 좋다 단테. 방금 완전 좋았어.
경외감 속에 숨어.
적합한 관리법이었어요.
기가 튀고.
다행이에요.
Counters are absolutely terrifying in this
정확하게 간파했습니다.
mode. Like,
제 예상만큼
I need to make sure that we can beat these guys because there's a chance that they could still kill us in the end. He only has 2,000 health. Okay, I think we're good.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
I think we're good. Thank goodness.
기가 튀고.
Counters, man, they are no joke.
적에게 치명상을 입혔군요. 관리자님은 당신이 생각하는
기가
것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만
경외감
맞은 건
속에
아니야.
숨어.
그래서 저 멀리 날아가는지 안 들리나요?
기가 튀고.
자, 악당 퇴치 성공! 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
We take the rules of the middle and faith before making it to the final boss.
메이저.
Alright, so, we finally got faith, but it genuinely took me getting every single tier 4 ego gift in the game
내가 응원해줄게.
to get it, so that's cool. We still can't win any clashes whatsoever, which is pretty nice. Even egos struggle. Yikes.
나선
Not that
속을
it matters.
벗어날 순 없다.
Okay, I'm not taking that. I didn't look at the speed.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다. 이 불 또한 예술의 황홀경치.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어갔다.
이 불 또한 예술의 황홀
75% chance, by the way.
해냈구나.
More than that, actually. It's like 90.
세상에, 여러분들 괜찮으세요?
저들에게서
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다.
God, finally.
이 불
The
또한
30 sanity is
예술의 황홀
genuinely awful.
칼날이 잘 드네요.
Like,
아마
actually
그때가
awful.
약점이었겠죠?
이불 또한 예술의 황홀 경치.
Took me like 10 attempts just to win that one clash.
완벽한 한방.
And now I'm gonna lose this clash because negative 10 sanity.
저건 물병 아니야?
어린이 친구, 물병은 어트랙션의 반입 금지.
Oh well, it's fine.
72조 사망 뒤행 사야.
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다. 경외감 속에 숨어게. 진경
깨달음을 얻으셨다.
140 damage on the counter. Oh, counters are evil, man. They really are evil.
방금 공격. 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지 몰라.
직원 중 하나가 큰 피해를 입었군요.
나선 속을
It's
벗어날
probably
수
worth going for Queequeg here. Just ignore Ahab.
경외감 속에 숨어게. 진경
방금의 군
피가 튀게.
It kind of sucks that we don't have a revive anymore,
효율적인
but
대처로
it's
개체를
probably
꿰뚫었습니다.
fine.
참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다.
I don't know if I want to target Queequeg or not. It's hard to say.
경외감 속에 숨어게. 진경
운명의 기운이 운영하는 것 같아.
It's probably better not to,
좋았던 것
피가
같네.
튀게.
just because Ahab's frailer.
적확한
경외감
하나도
속에 숨어게. 진경
관리자님, 어서 적대 개체를 자세히 파악해 주세요.
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다. 그 시선 경멸스럽다.
승객이 딱콩 한 번 먹었어.
경외감 속에 숨어게. 진경
방금 공격은 좋았어.
피가 튀게.
이대로만 계속해보면 좋을 텐데.
개체의 유효한 속성을 정확하게 간파했습니다.
나선 속을 벗어날 수는 없다. 벗어날 수
I really do hope Nelly isn't that bad. Like, she could definitely mess us up with her
여기 벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들
binding
쳐야
technique that I
한다.
completely forgot that she had in the previous run with the queen. So it's a good idea to try and
나선 속을 벗어날
beat
수는
Nelly as quickly as possible. Or maybe it's not a good idea to beat Nelly as quickly as possible because then you get hit by the binding technique earlier. And that thing
방금 했던
instant snaggers you after 3 turns of it being applied. And the only way to remove it, as far as I know, is to clash against a certain skill of Nelly's.
상담에서 알려준 대로 잘했어.
경외감 속에 숨어.
건 잘하는 거야.
진경 피가 튀게.
적합한 관리법이었어요. 다행이에요.
피가 튀게. 경외감
머리 좋다
속에 숨어.
단체. 방금 완전 좋았어.
진경 피가 튀게.
현명한 판단이요.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
If we beat Nelly before she has a phase transition, then we don't get inflicted with
무얼 잘못했는지
the binding technique.
시작했어.
경외감 속에 숨어.
So we just kill her early, before she can phase transition.
피가 튀게.
And if we can't, then I guess we stall, maybe?
피가 튀게.
Hopefully it won't come to that.
경외감 속에 숨어. 진경. 피가 튀게.
It might come to that if
피가 튀게.
we keep missing coins.
직원들이 개체를
Beat her, no
제압하는 데
binding
성공했어요.
technique. This fight
이걸로
is
많은 피해를 예방할 수
officially
있을 거예요.
free.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
I'm gonna use her ego too here just because I can.
피가 튀게.
It's not really necessary, but it's kind of cool. Like, when it comes to identities, like ego wearing identities,
피가 튀게.
a lot of the time they have at least some synergy with their ego, and Ryoshu doesn't really.
경외감 속에 숨어.
I mean, she does to some extent, right? Because she needs the Contempt of the Gaze status effect to be able to do the extra bonus attack with Yisong. And the easiest way for her to get that is either with her defense skill or with the ego.
피가 튀게.
So that's probably the number one way she gets synergy with it.
피가 튀게.
But another bit of synergy that
저 아르카나들의
사소한
마지막
희생은
she has
필요한 법이지.
from the ego
지금까진 버텨왔지만
나선 속을 벗어날 수
is that when she uses the ego, specifically when her passive is active, she can inflict gaze on everyone all at once, which is definitely the best way to use it, I think. Because it makes her actual, like, skill ramping substantially faster just by using the ego, like, a single time with a little bit of lust resonance.
피가 튀게.
I probably should have talked about that a lot earlier on in this video rather than the final fight, but it's fine, I guess.
경외감 속에 숨어.
It's crazy how she's almost hitting 10k damage with that. It's a single coin skill. That's really hard to do.
직원들이 우세한 환경에 있습니다. 신뢰라고 부른다
나선 속을
하군요.
벗어날 순 없다.
긍정적인 변화네요.
Anyway, the frauds have been defeated. We're the better ego user.
경외감 속에 숨어.
이 외고에 이런 힘도 있어.
악당 퇴치 성공! 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
경외라 혹은 괄목하든가. 평범과 비범은 이렇게나 큰 차이를 보이지. 한낱 날개 따위에 안주할 내가 아니다만 아직 그 실험들의 결과를 보고 싶으니 참도록 할까.
And that's how I beat 15 floors of Mirror Dungeon 6 using only Contempt or Ryoshu. She's a very good identity on her own and helps to turn an otherwise underwhelming identity with Fellable Isong into something actually usable. I really do like her, not only from a strength perspective, but also from an aesthetic one. Anyway, that's it from me. Like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Goodbye!